case you didn't catch that, Meridu's saying his mum and dad sang to their youngest son, trying to harness the spirits to bring him back, but it was no good. Meridu says his grief-stricken mother wailed in the nighttime as the boy lay silent and still under a small tree. The parents knew they would have to leave him there. Most of the other families had already gone, moved into the white man world. And for Meridu's family, the loss of their son was the final straw. It was time for them to leave the desert for good.
So we cried him and that's it, let's go.
The family began their long, slow walk across the great sandy desert to a new world. So Meridu finds it strange that non-Indigenous people romanticise life in the desert. He's glad that Robert Bigooki came out alive. But for Meridu, Robert is also the embodiment of carelessness, of privileged people who don't appreciate how precious it is to be alive because they've never watched on as the desert left a loved one dead. The wider world's never cared about Meridu's survival story. He's only asked to help when a white man goes missing. It feels like there's unfinished business. And I start to discuss the idea with Robert and Janet. Maybe it's time for them to return to the Great Sandy Desert, to where this strange saga played out, to meet the Aboriginal trackers who helped search for them. And they agree. They want to say thank you to the Aboriginal trackers who helped out in 1999 and try to wrap things up on this long ago drama. But as they book their flights, I start to feel a bit anxious. I have no idea how this meeting is going to go. A few months later, we're all in a car together. Robert, Janet, Meridu and me, rumbling down the highway towards the spot where Robert began his desert quest almost a quarter of a century ago. When Robert and Meridu meet, they are respectful but reserved. It feels like there's a reckoning ahead. At one point when we're pulled over, Meridu beckons me over and he tells me something in a low voice. We're going to stop soon, he tells me, for an important ceremony. The American needs to apologise, he says. He was wrong to come into this dangerous country alone, without asking the traditional owners and risking death. Finally, as the day's heating up and tummies are rumbling, we stop to have lunch. And then Meridu tells me it's time for the smoking ceremony to start. Meridu orders Robert to walk through the fragrant smoke. Breathe in a little bit of smoke.
Yeah, breathe in there. Yeah, this is smoking ceremony when you go past next time. Really will smell you. I know these people. I'll let them pass.
It's an ancient ritual that Meridu says will keep us safe and let the spirits of the country know that we're here, something Robert didn't know to do back in 1999. And then, Meridu says, it's time for Robert to apologise. The wind suddenly picks up, whipping the hot coals of the campfire. And Robert looks anxious. It's clear he's expected to pay his respects and somehow try to make amends for entering these lands and breaching the cultural protocol all of those years ago.
Thank you, my friend. I very much appreciate you letting me walk through your yard to learn the things I needed to learn. And thank you for coming to look for me and helping me through it from a distance. I will take this knowledge. I won't forget it.
Robert has not apologised, but he's been gracious and humble. And in that moment, as he stands before Meridu, it feels like he's taking one for the team. For all the clueless white people, the Gadiya people, who move around Australia, these vast landscapes, without knowing whose land they're on and no concept of what's gone before, and possessing none of the survival skills that are no longer needed and no longer valued. The men hug, and the tension is broken.
We must walk together. You're a good man.